All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started on the agenda. Like I said, feel free to ask any questions. If you want to, the chat box is open, so Heather can always make sure to relay the questions to me. So we're going to look at defining what disease is, how does it happen? We'll look at leaf and needle diseases, so how to identify the disease and what plant does it affect. And then I have a slide about prevention and treatment, so things to prevent leaf diseases and some of those common treatments that we have. So what is a plant disease? That's defined by plants can become sick due to infection by a variety of organisms. So things like insects, fungus, bacteria, virus, and nematodes. So at some point during this presentation, we'll definitely touch base on probably every single one of these. In the next section, I'll be breaking it up after we talk a little bit about the disease triangle. So what I love about the disease triangle is it's very visual. You have pathogen, host, plant, and environment. When all three of those things come together, you have a perfect storm, and that's disease. If you take out any one of those things, then you won't have disease happening. So if that environment is not favorable for that pathogen, so say that pathogen, and in this case, when I'm referring to pathogen, I'm referring to a type of disease. It requires a cooler environment, and we've had a really hot summer, you're more likely than not going to be seeing that type of disease happening. Or if it requires two different types of host plants in order to complete its life cycle, if one of those host plants aren't there, well, then you won't have disease either. So really, when diseases happen, it's like this perfect storm coming together. Unfortunately, that seems to happen quite frequently, more than what we'd like it to. So I've broken down the leaf needle diseases into flowers, fruits, vegetables, trees, and shrubs. So we'll start with flowers. Now, how I wanted to break this up was for each category, I'd pick 5 of the more common ones, and we'd go ahead and talk about them. So for floral diseases, we'll talk about black spot, aster yellows, cucumber mosaic virus, rust, and gray mold. You'll notice with black spot, I wanted to make sure too that with the pictures it reflected what you would be seeing on the leaf. So a black spot disease is a type of fungus. This specific type of black spot affects many different types of roses. So the lesions are very circular, maybe about half an inch in diameter. And you can kind of see that they almost have like feathery margins, so they go out a little bit. Like it's not quite fully circular, so it feathers out. And in this case, they can be brown and black in color. And if we have a very wet year like we did last year, you're probably more likely to see black spot because it really enjoys wet weather. Now, when we talk about treatment and stuff like that, you could probably prune out some of this, but I mean, it depends on how badly affected it is. Most funguses generally tend to be more cosmetic. So you got to think about too your disease tolerance. So how willing are you to, I guess, put up with different types of diseases? Since a good majority of the ones we're going to talk about are mostly cosmetic, a lot of times treatment is not really needed. So then you have aster yellows. This is going to sound weird, but I really like this disease. It's a very interesting one. So it's caused by a phytoplasma, which is kind of like a bacteria, and that lives in the phloem. So that's the more food conducting tissue. And it does this really weird thing with asters. You can kind of see in this picture here, with my arrow, you see these like almost little green, almost mini flowers poking out. So those are caused by that bacteria. It just kind of changes that whole plant's dynamic. It's often mistaken for herbicide exposure just because it causes that kind of twisted look to it and can cause discoloration in the leaf. So that can be yellowish or red. And when we talk a little bit about herbicide exposure, because I will mention that near the end of this presentation, uh, there's a lot of what I want to say. There's a lot of similarities between some of these diseases and what you would see if herbicide were to become apparent that it's been affecting your plants. Then you have cucumber mosaic virus. So unlike the other two, this one is a viral disease. It can affect like 1,200 plant species from fruits, vegetables, herbaceous and woody ornamentals, and even weeds, which is probably why it's such a hard disease, to deal with and why it can pop up so frequently. And dependent on what the host species is, the infection, and even how long that infection takes to take hold can be very different. But there's also that, like, you'll notice that with some fungal diseases, like I'll go back one, with the black spot, you have these more circular dark shapes. With a mosaic virus, cucumber mosaic virus, it almost looks like this yellowing that's underneath the leaves that's almost mottled. Um, there was actually, so tulips, there's some pretty famous tulips that have some virus in them that give them the coloring that they do. And like back in Holland when tulip mania was happening, a lot of people were fighting over these bulbs, and a lot of those bulbs were infected with a type of virus, fairly similar to what happens with cucumber mosaic virus. And this can, it'll have that like stunting growth to it and that mottling and ring spots. So it's very interesting that even a virus can, cause this like almost pretty effect on leaves. And once a virus has taken hold, there's really not much you can do besides removal of the plants, because there's not like any antivirals we can give plants to save them. Then you have rust. So this is a type of fungus. It affects several species, but you can find resistant varieties. When I'm talking about resistance, though, resistance doesn't mean immunity. So resistance just means it's less likely to get the disease than a less resistant variety. Symptoms can include yellow or orange or red spots on leaves. And if you take those leaves and you wipe it with your hand, or taking a white tissue paper and going across the leaf, it'll come away with a different kind of coloring, so like yellowish and orange color, so it'll look like you just like rust flakes. This is mostly a cosmetic disease. It's not going to cause too much damage. It's just being aware that um, this is one of those things, like, how comfortable are you with that disease pressure? And then we have gray mold. Yeah, not a very pretty looking disease. It's another fungal disease, and it affects the flowers, the leaves, the stems. And you have these dark brown to black blight on the flowers, so they start dying back. And you can get that too on the leaves. This is a one type of fungus that's very fueled by moisture and heat. So if you take any away those things, then you're less likely to have gray mold. This is where plant spacing can come in handy. So just watching how closely packed your plants are. And wounded or old tissue is more likely to get infected. So if you already have a pretty healthy plant, you're probably not going to see gray mold too much in those younger leaves, just more in the older ones. Okay, so before we go on to fruit leaf diseases, are there any questions? I know I kind of went fast, but I know we have different, ones that we're going to be going through. So is there any questions on those flower diseases?
And if you want to ask a question, on the lower left side, there's a mute button. You can either hit that or you can press your space bar. And as long as you keep it pressed in, you can talk and be unmuted.
All right. Well then, not hearing any questions, but feel free, like I said, at any time to ask questions as we go along. So we'll go ahead and start into fruit leaf diseases. So the ones that we'll be covering in this section are raspberry leaf curl virus, angular leaf spot, downy mildew, cedar apple rust, and apple scab. I chose 2 of the apple leaf diseases because I felt like it was very important, because a lot of people do grow apples in our area and around the state, and these are very common ones that you see. With the raspberry leaf curl virus, so this is another virus, and this is specifically in raspberries. You can see a slight yellowing of small leaves, and they curl downward. And then inward, so it'll start curling down and then curling in on itself. It can be confused with glyphosate injury, so which is a type of herbicide, but the way to tell the difference of whether or not, it's a leaf curl virus is generally you're going to have like one plant that's affected, but if you were to have herbicide damage, you would see more damage throughout a lot of your raspberry bushes. This can infect red and black raspberries, less commonly blackberries, so it's mostly just a raspberry disease. Now, viruses are really hard to diagnose, and a lot of times it's best to just send it down to our plant pathologist, and you can do that through our extension office. Now, currently, the extension office is closed due to COVID-19, but if you would really, in the next, couple of weeks, if you have a sample that you need to send down, feel free to reach out to me and we can figure out how to get the sample down to our plant pathologist. Otherwise, I know he's taking pictures too, like of certain things, but there are some things that he needs to test for. This definitely would be one thing that you'd want to send down to the lab to confirm. Then you have angular leaf spot. So this is a very severe bacterial disease, which can do yield losses up to 75%. So if you're growing strawberries for like a pick your own, this can be very detrimental. Initial symptoms include small angular water-soaked translucent spots. So you can see that, they're very angular. They're almost forming along just the where those veins are. Um, the more affected the leaves become, they dry out and they turn a reddish brown. Um, there's no cure for this, so early detection is key. You might be able to manage it with certain fungicides, or sorry, not fungicides. You might be able to manage this, with, thinning and things like that, removing. But once it's into the plant, it's really hard to get rid of. Then you have downy mildew. So this is a fungal disease that destroys the leaves, stems, flowers, and fruits of many plants species worldwide. This one is very common on grapes and cucumbers. Roses and viburnum are also very affected by it. And it doesn't start off with that white grayish fuzz. It actually starts off as small green yellow translucent spots, and then over time it develops that gray white fuzz. Sometimes people might confuse downy mildew with powdery mildew, which I will show you powdery mildew later on when we start talking about shrubs. This one, this one's very detrimental, whereas powdery mildew is more cosmetic. So if with this, management, it can be difficult as well, but grape growers definitely have a hard time with downy mildew. And then cedar apple rust. So this one is interesting because, You have secondary hosts, which is junipers. And if you were to get rid of that secondary host, you wouldn't have this type of rust that happens. And so they have to have both in order for this fungus to complete its life cycle. Unfortunately, it can affect a lot of different plants, not just apples and junipers. You also have hawthorns and quince. And on apple trees, the diseased areas are usually these circular. You can see it, it's like a yellow orange in color. And these little dots right here, that's the underside of the leaf, and that's where spores and stuff can happen. So that's why it's important that when, these leaves fall in the fall, is to make sure you're doing proper cleanup, because, that's another way of infecting the juniper, but it goes back and forth. And when this disease is on a juniper plant, it's actually going to look like this kind of orangey gelatinous mound. It's very, very noticeable. But that's the other part of this type of fungus life cycle. And this one is generally just cosmetic. It makes plants unattractive. But even though it could cause defoliation early, it's not going to be a detrimental to the tree's health, and it only affects the leaves. You're not going to be seeing too much effect on the apples itself. Now, apple scab is completely different. This one is very serious. It affects both ornamental and fruit trees in the rose family. So the lesions are first noticed on the leaves, and there's these like dark, kind of black circles. And they can transfer to the fruit, which can make them unmarketable. So if you have a few trees and maybe you sell your apples at a farmer's market, the apple scab can just, that's not going to look very pretty. People aren't going to want to buy those, especially if they look damaged. So it's being aware of, you know, watching out for those first signs of the lesions on the leaves. Um, it's not lethal though if it totally defoliates. Once symptoms appear, it's too late to treat, but you can manage it long term. So it's serious, but it's not lethal. There are a few diseases on here that I'll say are serious and lethal, because it doesn't matter what you do, you can prolong its life, but eventually it's going to die. Where this one, it can be managed long term. With proper cleanup, and certain types of fungicides, especially ones that are containing copper. Now, if you are using fungicides, it's important that you're following the label directly. If you're not comfortable with using fungicides, I suggest reaching out to, a professional to come in and help. Um, all right, so that was fruit diseases. And I know I went through them kind of fast, but is there any questions before we get into vegetable leaf diseases? All right, so moving on then to vegetable leaf diseases, we have black rot, anthracnose, purple blotch, early blight, and bacterial brown spot. Now, black rot, this can be potentially lethal. It's a bacterial disease. It affects vegetables such as broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, and kale. The symptoms, so after you plant, symptoms might not be apparent until at least a month after it's started to grow. You have these kind of, at first you might just notice some yellowing and might think, well, maybe, there's some nutrient deficiency, or maybe it's either getting too much water or underwater. But it'll start blotching out these yellow V-shaped areas, and then it'll start browning. So ways you can prevent that is use certified disease-free seed and transplant. So being aware of where you're buying your seed and your plants from. There is a process you can treat seeds with heat. So if you're unsure of if these, the seeds that you're maybe saving are going to have black rot, you can treat them. If you're interested in learning more about how you treat those seeds, UW Extension does have a publication on black rot, so you can go through that and it'll walk you through how to treat those seeds in a heat bath. And just rotating crops. It's important to rotate all crops, throughout the year. This will help you, or rotate crops every year. This will help with prevention of disease. Then you have anthracnose. So this is a pretty common fungal disease. It affects cucurbits, legumes, pepper, sweet corn, and tomato. Um, they begin as pale yellow or water-soaked lesions, and those lesions eventually enlarge. They can turn dark brown or black, and then eventually the entire leaf may die. So this is anthracnose actually of a spinach leaf that we're looking at right now. This is another one that likes a lot of rain, a lot of moisture, and overcrowding. So if you have a pretty crowded garden bed, or you didn't realize how many plants were actually going to germinate, and then all of a sudden you have that overcrowding, and we've had a lot of warm temperatures and a lot of heavy dews in the morning. Anthracnose is pretty quick to spread then and to develop. And then you have purple blotch. I chose this one because I thought it was a pretty interesting one. It's a fungal disease specifically to onions. And this one isn't generally a primary disease. It's what we call a secondary disease. So if that onion were to contract another disease, this one would decide, oh, hey, it's an already injured plant. I'm going to go in and start affecting it. Symptoms include purple lesions, and older leaves are more susceptible than the younger ones. That's simply just because, over time um, they're just weaker and are more susceptible to disease. All right, then we have early blight. So this one's pretty common. So it's one of two pretty common blights. So you have early blight and late blight. I decided to talk about early blight. It devastates tomatoes for both commercial settings and home gardeners. So some of you might have had early blight, might have thinking it was late blight. But this can also affect not just tomatoes, but eggplants and peppers and potatoes. And this one starts at the base. So that's why it's important to watch how you're watering plants, because if you're watering from above, there's splash from the soil and that gets up on the leaves. And that's where that fungal disease can happen from, is that fungus is sitting on the ground, bounces up, and then it targets those leaves and stems. And as it gets bigger, those lesions get bigger. It almost starts looking like a target. So you'll see these typical looking like target signs on the leaf. And then we have bacterial brown spot. So this is another bacterial disease, affects a variety of different vegetables. These ones can vary a little bit. So between tomatoes and peppers, they each have their own bacterial brown spot. Both are going to have these brown circular spots with the yellow halo. Well, tomato will. In peppers, it won't have that yellow halo, but they'll each be at least that brown 1/8 of an inch big. In tomatoes, those holes will fall through, so wherever you find those lesions, it'll fall through and you'll create little holes and pock marks. It almost look like insect damage. If you're not paying attention closely to that browning. This is another one that's driven by high humidity, temperatures, and being aware of watering practices. A lot of times you're going to be hearing me say, don't water above, because that's going to create a lot of splashing. And there's a lot of bacteria and fungus that rests on that soil. So just being aware of, how you're watering. So drip irrigation is probably the best, but I also understand not everybody has that ability to do that. All right. So that was various vegetable leaf diseases. So I'll pause for a second here or so to see if there's any questions about any of those. Okay. All right. So then now we're going to look at the tree leaf and needle diseases. For this one, I picked pine needle rust, oak wilt, Rhizocephera needlecast, Verticillium wilt, and tar spot. And I wanted to make sure I balanced at least, the evergreens and our deciduous trees. So pine needle rust. So this is a fungal disease. This one also, just like the cedar apple rust, it has 2 host plants to complete its life cycle. In this case, you have the pine family and the aster family. So both need to be around in order for this pine needle rust to happen. Symptoms can include yellow to orange spots or bands that appear on green needles in the spring. And then needles turn partly or completely yellow. So you can start seeing the yellowing here of some of these needles on this pine. This is also like most rusts. Whoops. Like most rusts, they're pretty cosmetic, so management is not really needed because it's not going to do very much harm to the overall health of the tree for pretty well established trees. Now, rust could come in after another disease comes in, and then, that could be seen as, the harmful thing, but really it was the original disease. Then we have oak wilt. So like I said, there was going to be a few things on here that are going to be lethal. So this one is a lethal fungal disease. And it can virtually affect all species of oaks. So there's not an oak that is, you know, not going to get it. So things to look out for if you have oak trees is usually there's like a sudden like single branch that'll die off and wilt. And then the leaves on that branch will often have a bronze color or turn tan or dull green starting at the tips or the outer margins. So instead of starting at the center of the plant or center of the leaf, it'll start on the outside and work its way in. This is one that a branch sample needs to be submitted for proper diagnosis to lab. Just because, with that discoloration of the leaves, it could be a couple other things. So just making sure you have proper diagnosis, because honestly, the best option for this is removal. If those oak trees are pretty close together, there's a chance of that fungus spreading from one tree to the next. Then you have Rhizocephera needlecast. This is the most common fungal disease of Colorado spruces. We actually have a publication on, other trees, evergreens to plant besides Colorado spruce, because there's a lot of problems with Colorado spruce as far as disease-wise goes. It can make them appear unsightly and unusable in many landscape settings. So what basically happens is all the older needles will be infected by this fungus. They'll die off and then they'll just fall off. And then you're left with almost what looks like a Charlie Brown Christmas tree, because you have just little bits of the younger needles at the tips of the branches that are still healthy and young and still looking good, but then the rest of the inside of the tree is just gone. So if you're using that, as a landscape plant for attracting, attention to a certain part of your yard, or if you're using the Colorado spruce for maybe a sound barrier, it's not going to work out very well in your benefit, because of it's just going to cause every year the needles to just die off. You can use some management techniques with fungicides if they have that active ingredient of copper or chlorothalonil. Looking for those two active ingredients will be beneficial. Verticillium wilt. This fungal disease that is typically fatal. It can affect, everything from deciduous woody ornamentals, even vegetables are affected by this. Um, Very similar to oak wilt, that first sign you may notice is individual branches suddenly wilt and die. Yellowing, wilting, and death of leaves is another typical symptom. And you'll notice that the yellowing is starting, kind of in between the leaves, and it's just like very sudden. Most plants will eventually die, but you can prolong the life of that plant if you're doing some proper watering and fertilizing. This is another one that you need to send into the lab for official diagnosis. And then you have tar spot. So this is common, visually distinctive, and primarily a cosmetic fungal leaf disease. Um, it can affect many species from maple to box elder to willow and holly. Initial symptoms are small yellow spots that form on the leaves as they develop. These black structures form. This one is simply cosmetic, but it's very easily diagnosed because it's very much a certain type of tar spot. Um, all right, so I thought I saw maybe something in the chat.
We do have a chat. We have a
Yeah.
question. When would you suggest using a foliar spray of water with baking soda to change the pH of the foliage to combat issues like powdery mildew? When does alkaline effect help?
All right. That's a really good question. Um, I would have to look into that because, when it comes to, because we'll be talking about powdery mildew here in a second, and that one is more of a cosmetic disease than downy mildew. So, tell you what, I will take your question and I will contact you. So if you want to make sure Heather gets your email, or if you want to send me an email, I can make sure I help you with that. And then I can send that to everybody who attended here too. Um, if you'd like to know the answer to that question, because just off the top of my head, I can't remember the exact, like, when to do the exact sprays, but that is a really good question. So then finally we're going to take a look at shrub leaf needle diseases. So you have Dothystroma needle blight, wears cushion rust of spruces, powdery mildew like we were just discussing, foliar nematodes, and boxwood blight. And the one thing I'll tell you about boxwood blight is that one's fairly new to Wisconsin and kind of rare, but we're starting to see it pop up more. All right, so with Dothystroma needle blight, fungal disease that commonly affects over 30 species of pine trees. So quite a few of pine trees that are affected. It first appears as dark green water-soaked spots on the needles. So like the tip of it, it'll look kind of water-soaked, like it's just gotten water soaked on it, and then it'll become tan, yellow, or reddish brown. And then it can form some bands, like you see these kind of darker bands on the needles. And this one, another one that, copper containing fungicides can help prevent new infections, but it will not cure diseased needles. So, I mean, you can stop sort of new infections happening each year, but you're basically just kind of prolonging. This one, there is some dye back to the needles, so I mean, it's kind of cosmetic, but eventually, if anything long enough, if there isn't enough food for the plant, it's gonna die. So then Weir's cushion rust of spruces. So this is a fungal rust disease. It disfigures and reduces the growth of spruce trees. Um, This was recognized in Wisconsin for the first time in 2002. So, I mean, it's kind of a fairly new disease that was recognized in Wisconsin. So, not very common, but it's, at least important to be aware of. Um, so it starts off with yellow spots or bands developing on the needles. Those can intensify and give it like a bright green and gold. So I know there are some evergreens out there that naturally have like, needles that'll turn from green to gold, but these are having that kind of split and they'll have this banded look. So you can see here that in this picture of this spruce, that there's this distinctly yellow coloring. Um, Fungicides can be applied to prevent new infections, but just like with the Dathostroma needle blight, this type of rust, it's only to prevent new infections. So it's not something that's going to cure it, but it's also going to slow that process down. And then powdery mildew. So each one is unique to its host. So if you have powdery mildew on your lilacs and then you have powdery mildew on your tomatoes, you have two different powdery mildews. So each one is very unique to the host that it's on. And it can affect, trees, shrubs, herbaceous ornamentals, vegetables, fruits. It's pretty common. And it looks just kind of like the name says, is it's this powdery substance, almost looks like powdered sugar. For most trees and shrubs, it's cosmetic, non-lethal disease. In roses, though, it can cause branch dieback. So a lot of the ones that are in the rose family, um, just being aware of that. But for the most part, you don't have to worry about powdery mildew. It's just more cosmetic, how much you want to look at it. And I will get back to you on that question about, foliar sprays and when to apply them. Like I said, just off the top of my head, I wasn't quite sure. Foliar nematodes. So these are kind of neat little creatures. So they're microscopic worms, and they live on or in over 450 plant species. And that's in 75 different plant families. So that is so many different plants that these little worm-like creatures can live in. Unlike most nematodes, when you hear nematodes, generally you think of soil and excuse me, root rots. These ones actually cause damage above ground, so they're not going to affect the roots at all. So if you're seeing a lot of root rot damage from nematodes, that's a totally different nematode than the one that's affecting the leaves. Um, Ways to prevent this is just being aware of the damage that nematodes can cause in leaves. So you have, distinct discoloration, um, and sometimes that can look like other diseases as well, as we've seen. But it's spread through cuttings and infected plants brought into the garden. So that's why it's important to inspect your plants or, inspect cuttings before transplanting into your garden. We've had other things, come into the state of Wisconsin, through, people transporting plants, between states. Or just some insects and diseases just like to hitch rides, with other things as they're coming through. And then boxwood blight. This is a very devastating disease, and as I said, it's fairly new to Wisconsin. It's rare, but some of our boxwoods, I believe down at Riverside International Friendship Gardens, had to be taken out because of boxwood blight. Initial brown spots will appear on the leaves, and eventually they like merge together, and then they have leaf dieback. And then once those leaves brown and fall off, then the rest of the plant starts to die off, and then that can lead to the death of the shrub. This one, it's just being more aware of. Sometimes, that browning, you might see it on some boxwoods. Just from like winter burn, and or you have other plants too that have browning and could look similar to boxwood blight, but that's more winter burn and that's just lack of moisture. So just being aware of boxwood blight is important. So any questions about those at all? Like I said, I'll get back to you on that, the powdery mildew. All right. So case of mistaken identity. So there are some things, so when we're trying to identify what's wrong with our plant, it's a very complex process because sometimes it's not just the leaves that are affected by diseases, but it's the stems, it's the roots. There's a lot of different things that can happen. Um, and there's problems that plants can have that look like disease, but really are something else. So you have things like chlorosis, and so that's like the yellowing of leaves, and you might think that that could be viral or some sort of disease related thing. Actually, chlorosis is most likely caused by some sort of nutrient deficiency. Um, and most likely, sometimes that's due to like micronutrients rather than the major nutrients. That's why it's important to get your soil tested too, to know what your nutrient content is in your soil. Tatters. You've probably maybe you've heard of oak tatters, and that can be mistaken with a disease or insect damage. There's not really a known cause for it, but a lot of like younger leaves will start looking kind of twisted, like they've been chewed up. Um, but actually this eventually the tree will grow out of it and it'll develop new leaves, and those new leaves will look fine and normal. So there's not really a known cause for it, but it's a very interesting thing that can look like disease but isn't. Maple gulls. So these are little insect critters that form like little balls on the back of your leaf, or like they look discolored. They can almost look a little bit like some sort of fungus, but actually it's a type of insect that's creating its home in the leaf. And generally those tend to be pretty cosmetic too, just like a lot of our fungus diseases. And then herbicide damage. The big key with herbicide damage when you're looking for leaf diseases is if it affects several plants in an area, even if you have several different varieties. Like I had one woman bring in a couple of her different tomato varieties that were all exhibiting the same symptoms. The newer leaves were curling in, the tops of the plants were kind of getting brown and crunchy, and it was happening to all varieties. Now, it's pretty rare for a disease to come in and affect every single one of those varieties, so it was determined that it was actually herbicide damage. So just being aware too of when your neighbors are, spraying any herbicides, and just being watchful of that, because herbicide damage can also look like disease damage and vice versa. And so that's where things can get a little complex with that too. So then, prevention and treatment. So prevention is key. Buying resistant plant varieties. And when I'm talking resistance, remember I'm not talking immunity. So if you buy a resistant plant variety and all of a sudden it gets that disease, it doesn't mean it was, automatically 100% immune. But hopefully, it has a stronger resistance, and so you don't get the disease right away. Rotating crops. It can be easy as that. Rotating what crops you're putting in what part of your garden. Clean up leaf litter either in the fall or very early spring. This will help prevent fungal diseases and bacteria from infiltrating plants as they're growing. Space plants appropriately. So if you have overcrowding issues, you're opening yourself up to potential for diseases, especially leaf diseases. And then don't water overhead with a hose, because you're likely to create a lot of splash from that soil surface onto the leaves, and then you're opening your plant up to disease there. And soil tests. I always recommend soil testing before doing a new garden bed, or even if you have an existing bed and you've been doing the same fertilizer regimen. it's still important to figure out, well, what exactly is in my soil right now, especially if you are encountering a lot of disease or maybe other plant problems. And then treatment. So I mentioned a couple of treatments for a few of those diseases, and it's going to vary on the type of disease. Removal might be the only option. So in the case of oak wilt, removal of the trees was the only option to take care of that. There are some fungicides. If using, follow the label to a T. Make sure you're reading and applying at proper times. Properly identifying the disease before applying any chemicals. That kind of goes with the second bullet point there of disease tolerance. You don't have to be constantly spraying fungicides. It might just be more of a cosmetic disease. And yeah, that tree might not, or shrub might not look as pretty, but it's still a pretty healthy tree. And just spraying it constantly might even cause some disease resistance in those different types of fungus, which then that fungicide is no longer going to be useful. And professional treatment, reaching out, dependent on the disease, you may need to bring experts to treat. This was just really a handful of diseases, out there, uh, that I just wanted to highlight and just pinpoint of, like, the differences between them. So at this time, is so these were my resources. So I went through the University of Wisconsin-Madison, the Plant Disease Diagnostic Clinic. um, Pretty much any of these diseases can be found on there. University of Minnesota has a lot of good resources as well for plant diseases, and the University of Illinois as well. So you don't have to just go with University of Wisconsin-Madison. For all your information, as long as the information you're finding is within our growing zone. But because there's a couple of universities that surround us that have good information as well. So if you can't find it with our plant disease diagnostic clinic, you're more likely to find it with Minnesota, Illinois, and even Michigan. So with that, that's the end of my PowerPoint, but I think there was possibly another question in the box.
We had a comment from Ron. Oak wilt can be prevented by injecting a substance each year.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sure it's a type of substance. So with the oak wilt, being Ron, do you know specifically what kind of substance it is? I'm guessing it's a fungicide of sorts.
I had a neighbor that had a dead oak tree, and I had a person come out just to look at my yard in general, and he noticed the dead oak tree. And as he went over, he told me that it was died because of oak wilt.
Okay.
And because I had 3 or 4 oak trees on my property, he said it's very likely in the next couple of years you will lose all your trees because the oak roots, as they touch each other, is how they transmit the disease. The tree was about 50, 60 feet away, and he says very likely those roots are touching. So he says what we can do is inject a substance into the tree each spring, actually drill small holes and put 5-gallon pails of liquid, and they let it sit for a half a day and let it drain into the tree. And I did end up losing one tree because it's not guaranteed, but knock on wood, so far has saved the other oak trees. And otherwise, he said it's almost guaranteed that it will be transmitted by the root. You will lose it. So if you notice a dead oak tree in your area, I'd probably get somebody out to take a look at it and diagnose it and perhaps provide some treatment because you will likely lose your oak trees also.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, oak wilt is one of those that, like, yeah, any time roots are touching, I mean, it's kind of a guarantee at that point that, that fungus is going to pass from one tree to the next. Thank you, Ron, for sharing. I really appreciate that. That's always good to have firsthand accounts. Is there any other questions? I know I went through this kind of fast, but like I said, this is recorded, so if you need to go back and listen to some things again, or if you have any questions afterwards, feel free to contact me. I'm gonna stop recording now. And then we're getting out of here a half hour early, but I mean, feel free to stick around for a few minutes afterwards and ask me other questions if you have any. This is the second one in my series for the garden toolbox. The next one coming up, I believe, is going to be about choosing the right plant, just because it's starting to get into that season where people are buying plants.